Is it possible to profit from buying airsoft mystery boxes? To find out, I bought every single type of airsoft mystery box. First up, we have boneyard boxes. We also have open box deal mystery boxes. And last but not least, we have limited edition mystery boxes. We have a total of 8 separate mystery boxes to go over, and I spent well above $1,000 in all of these. Our goal for this video is of course to see if we could really make profit from buying airsoft mystery boxes. Without further ado, let's jump straight into our first box. Real quick before we actually open this up, I want to give you guys a little bit more context on which each of the boxes actually are going to be. So the first type of boxes we have in today's video are boneyard boxes. We have a few different scrapyard boxes which contain 5 to 10 random things from the scrapyard. This could be anything from magazines, flashlights, lasers, wall chargers, vests, you name it. And where do they get these scraps from? Well, returns, refurbished items, and boneyard items they were just too lazy to list, just to name a few. These can basically be anything. The second type of boneyard box we have is a little bit more of an expensive one. These come in at $200. This will contain 2 to 5 airsoft AEGs, snipers, pistols, basically any type of airsoft gun, but these are going to be valued at $400 for the original MSRP if everything did work. And what boneyard means is they basically do not meet the requirements to be brand new items. These are defective, discontinued, damaged, or returned items. The second type of mystery boxes in today's video are open box deals. These airsoft guns were exchanged or returned items that cannot be labeled as new in their inventory. For the open box deals, I got 3 different types of boxes. A $69 one that has a airsoft gun valued at $100, a mystery airsoft product box that values up into an MSRP of $150 to $360, and I got that one for $89. And the last one I got is an airsoft gun that is worth over $140, and I got this one for $119. And the last type of airsoft mystery boxes I got in this video are limited ones. The first one I got is limited to 98 and cost in about $300, and the next one has a guaranteed value of $400 and comes in at $285. And that one is limited to only 10 boxes ever made. Now that you know exactly what's going to be in today's video, let's go ahead and unbox and check out what we got. Very curious to see what we're going to get. Okay, this box has definitely some things I had no idea I was gonna get. We have 2 separate Glock Perfection cases, which is definitely what you're gonna wanna see. Love that brand. And then the last thing in this box we have is a case from Matrix and I think Golden Eagle. So we have potentially 3 different pistols in this box. Did not expect that. I thought that was gonna be a whole bunch of scraps. This should be interesting. I have no idea if these are working airsoft guns or not, so this should be very interesting. It looks to be a double stacked airsoft gun. Here is the actual make and model of it on screen. Pretty cool. It actually has a really nice barrel that's colored in red and it has a really nice design as well to make it extra special looking. And obviously it's a cutout slide, so half the slide is basically missing. Pretty cool. That should make for a faster cycling speed. Some kind of 1911 or 2011 type of design. This looks to be working totally fine. What I'm gonna do is actually load up the magazine with some green gas and just dry fire it just to see if this thing actually works. Okay, it's holding gas, no issues there. So far, so good. This thing does look to be actually working properly. I believe this was a open box deal one. We'll actually go ahead and set that up to a chrono test and see if it actually shoots now. And if it does shoot, we'll take it to the airsoft field and see what the performance is like to see if we could see any other issues at the field. Whoa, lots of gas. 277, 284. Pretty consistent, kind of just about that 270, 280 FPS mark with just about 0.66 joules. Nothing super impressive for the FPS, but let's go see if it actually shoots pretty well in the field now. Gas-lock pistol, 50 feet, shouldn't be an issue. Ooh. Ooh. Definitely can't complain about those groupings. First couple shots, we barely missed the red, just almost nailing the bullseye on that one. Pretty good kickback as well. Nothing to complain about at all so far. We did turn up the hop up, I believe, about to 75 to 85% upward. So now let's really test the range and see how it could do. Little worried this one won't be able to hit it just because of the lower FPS. I think this one is shooting about that high, like maybe 270s, 280s. Let's see how it does. Oh. I was wrong. You guys hear that? Nice. And we're out of gas there with a couple shots left. Looks like you get about a mag and a half, mag and 3/4 through 1 fill of gas. Pretty decent. Overall, honestly, I'm kind of impressed with this one. I thought this one was going to be kind of like a really bad, but not too bad. It's a little clanky feeling, you know, not the highest quality I've ever seen, but it's not too bad. And as far as the Glock goes, I'm not sure if they're the exact same product or not. According to the box, it is the same product, so I'll open these basically at the same time here. All right, interesting. So we have two separate, these look to be like brand new. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's our lucky day. These look to be brand new Glock Gen 4s, which are really nice if these work. I still don't know if this is a normal mystery box that we got or a open box deal, but so far this is quite the deal. Yeah, these are super nice. Have some, oh, that feels nice. Yeah, that's super sweet. For an airsoft gun, does not feel bad whatsoever. The only thing I'm seeing, and sometimes this is normal for new airsoft guns, but they have like this coating of oil on there that's all over the slide. So maybe this was fired before potentially, but it did come in a brand new like sealed plastic wrap. So it's hard to really say. Let's go ahead and do, of course, the scary test. Let's do dry firing. Oh, it's actually CO2. Never mind, I have to get some CO2 real quick. Let's see if there was a case of CO2 in here. Maybe people already fired this. That would make sense that it's all oily on the outside of the slide. Nope, doesn't look like it. Does make me think it's brand new too is because of the tape as well. Usually if it's been used, they won't have that tape or a plastic wrapping around it as well. Okay, no leaks so far. This might kick really hard actually. CO2 Glock version 4. Damn. Yeah, it's not messing around. Seems normal to me. This is a pretty good deal so far. But will it pass the chronograph and the shooting test? We'll go ahead and test it out in a sec. And of course, the second one, let's go ahead and open this guy up and see if there's any issues with this one. Seems to be probably the same packaging as the previous one, so I would be really surprised again if there was any issues. Again, it has all that super weird kind of gunk on the slide. To me, it's not a big deal. A lot of airsoft guns that are gas have that from the factory, so could still potentially be brand new. We don't really know. Seems to have no issues whatsoever. Man, these have really good kickbacks. I like these so far. Again, let's go ahead and load it up and see if it actually works. This is a crazy Glock. See how it shoots? Should be pretty hard. It is CO2 full metal slide. Damn, yeah, 370. Looks like on average getting about that 350 to 360 FPS range with just above a joule. Not too bad. Let's see how this one does. Maybe it has some different numbers, who knows? 366. A little bit lower numbers, I believe, than the last one, but pretty similar, about that 340 to 360 range with just above a joule. We're, of course, going to test out both of these at the same time because it's basically the same exact airsoft gun, so let's check it out. Let's see what's going on with these bad boys. Haha. That's nice. Damn, these have a good kick. Like, out of most of the pistols I've shot, these has got to be like the top 5 best kicks I've ever felt. Really nice. Let's see what the actual accuracy is like. No real issues, just my bad aim with that one. Let's test out the second one and see if we could find any other issues. Well, not any other issues, just issues in general. Ooh. Way better grouping when I have 2 hands on this thing. Man, the kickback is awesome on these. Super nice. Wasn't too surprised that these guys shot amazing at 50 feet away. Let's try that a little bit further distance to see if we can challenge them a little bit more. All right, can we get a 135? Let's see how it does. All right, no big issues with the accuracy. Pretty normal groupings for a pistol on that one. The hop-up didn't want to turn on, but of course, let's go to the next one and turn that one up a little bit and see if there's any issues. Ooh. We cranked the hop up pretty much to max, and now getting a little bit weird groupings once it hits at 135 feet. It just barely missing the target at that range. Obviously, it could be my fault as well. But honestly, it's pretty solid groupings for a pistol. Nothing extraordinary, of course, but pretty much what you would expect for this price point in a pistol. Nothing I could really complain about. But it is great. It could hit that range. No issues. These I am using .28s as well. You buy these more for the crazy kickback, the realism, and of course, the platform for the Glock itself. You don't buy these for ultra precision at that range. But overall, I am impressed. Very solid pistol.
Wow, that was an amazing start with the first box. I paid $119 for this box. The total value was $448.90, and that means we got a total profit of $329.90.
Next up, we have the second box of this size, which I thought were going to be a scrap box, but I guess these might be open box deal. Again, this could be a scrap box, but I have no idea. I was just speculating because they didn't label anything. We'll see what we got for this one.
What?
Okay, this is a little bit more of an interesting looking box. We got some weird stuff in here. What is this stuff? Okay, I have actually never even heard of that. It's a little tiny box, it looks like, from Cybergun. It's fully sealed, so it looks brand new. We do have one of these bad boys. I think I've gotten these before. Some crazy name. It is a pistol, I believe. And we have a red magazine as well. Ooh, a little dog patch, Doge patch, and a little Desert Eagle, like metal plinking thing, which are gonna be really fun to use. And last but not least, we have a sealed, looks like to be a brand new spring pistol in here. Really weird. So I'm guessing that these two airsoft guns will work because they are sealed, which is pretty funny. But let's go ahead and open them up and at least see what they look like. And then of course we'll do some chrono testing on them to see if it actually shoots well. But usually springers are pretty bad. I don't think I've heard of this particular brand. I don't know. We'll see how this is. That's the whole case. Just the little tiny springer and the magazine. Could be a worse, way they packaged it up versus something at this price. There's the price on screen, super cheap. TP45. Let's see how this bad boy does. 216.7 with 0.44 joules. 218.7. And 217. Wow, really consistent. A little bit more FPS than I thought. This thing actually might not be too bad. Let's take it to the field and see how it does. The chronograph test was very solid, way more impressed me than I thought, honestly. This thing could actually have some kind of sleeper potential, so really curious to see how this one's gonna do. But it is a Springer after all, not very expensive, so I don't have super high hopes for this one, but we'll see how it goes. Ooh, almost hit the red there. Barrel and the iron sight seem to be very off, but as you could see, we can hit some really solid shots with this one, surprisingly. Honestly, really impressive for this price point. This might be one of the best spring pistols I've ever shot for $20. Really good. I just wish the iron sights were accurate to where it's actually going to shoot, but honestly, as you can see, there's some pretty impressive shots about 50 feet away. 135, I don't think we could hit it just straight up aiming at the target, but let's see how it does. Oh my gosh, I almost hit it. Ooh, dude, this is so close. I'm actually kind of like baffled right now. The range is really incredible, and the BBs are honestly flying in a super straight line as you just heard it hit the target. But obviously the main problem with this one is the iron sights are not exactly aimed in. I'm kind of aiming to the left and a little bit lower, sometimes higher than the actual target a little bit to actually hit it. But honestly, for the price point, this is probably one of the best spring pistols I've ever shot. Really solid. This one's definitely has no issues. Let's go on to the next one. This one's gonna be very interesting. Looks like you could put a whole bunch of accessories that actually come with it from the factory. Pretty cool. Let's see what the packaging looks like. At least you get to kind of like put it together like a Lego almost. You kind of just like, I'm guessing, slide that in there to get the rail stuff on there. I guess you just jam this in to put the end piece on there, maybe? It's already kind of cracked, so you can't really like, you have to like hold it together to get the suppressor on there. There we go. This is hilarious. Comes with a flashlight. We'll see if that actually works in a second here. And there it goes, right off the airsoft gun. Don't know if the quality behind this one would be a very high rating. And of course the red dot sight, which is not a red dot sight. It's literally just a plastic cross in there to make a red dot sight that barely really even fits on there. And yeah, there it is on all of its glory. Oh boy. Bruh. And beautifully, a nice made in China sticker at the bottom. See if this actually shoots. Whole bunch of styrofoam just flew out of the suppressor, but seems to, I guess, kind of work. The suppressor looks super crooked. 0.20s for all today's tests. Let's see how this little guy does. 68 FPS with 0.04 joules. 48, yeah, this thing is just so bad. Like, you have to cock it back and then, oh, that time it actually snapped the slide back. Usually it gets stuck, you have to like hit it to the front position. And now it's out of BBs. And now the magazine won't come out of the mag. Whoa, what is going on? It's like breaking in half as well. Love to see that. I think I actually just broke this thing. We're gonna take all of that crazy stuff off and see if I could fix it. Oh my gosh, does this thing just break? Yep, this is toasted. Looks like it shoots about 50 FPS, nothing crazy, but yeah, the little magazine release got stuck and now it won't actually get the mag out, so I can't put more BBs in there. Well, this thing just lasted a couple shots. That is terrible. And of course, last but not least, we're gonna need to test this bad boy out. These are very, I think, kind of interesting looking pistols. Yeah, it's like a full silver look on there, even though on the actual box it says gold custom. That's interesting. It is sealed in a plastic wrapping, so this guy actually might work as well. In the past, we've gotten one of these that are not working, so this would be awesome if we actually get to test it out. But I'm not too optimistic now because the hammer is set back, so that's not a good thing to see from a brand new airsoft gun. Oh, it went up though. Interesting, interesting. Let's load it with some BBs and see how the chronograph and shooting test goes now. 370, dang. Wow, this thing does not mess around. Little under 400 FPS with about 1.4 joules. That is no joke for a pistol. Gotta love the looks of this thing. Absolutely beautiful pistol from the exterior. Gotta love this one. Looks way, way more expensive than it actually is. But will the performance actually be the same as the looks? We're here to test that out. We turn up the hop up to about 75 to 80% of its capacity here. So let's see what it does. Ooh. Damn! What? Hold up. Did your boy just hit a bullseye? Ooh, he did. Check that out. Exactly on the X. That is satisfying to see that. Very nice. Okay, well, this thing's not messing around. Wow. Pretty damn accurate. I can't really complain too much. One thing I don't like about this thing, if I'm gonna complain about something, is the magazine's really hard to load up. Just super stiff, and you can't really get your fingernail barely like on there, so. And it's super tight as well. I don't know, it's just not my favorite magazine, but other than that, pretty solid so far. I'm having to aim a little bit lower on the iron sights, basically under the target to hit these shots. But as far as what the shots are going, very solid. This thing's really satisfying, actually. I really like this thing. I got one of these in a previous video that was a boneyard airsoft gun. I thought these were kind of like not very high quality, but this one's really shooting good. Ooh, damn, first shot just hits it, damn. Damn. I am aiming basically just at the target as well. So with about 75% of the hop up turned up, this thing is shooting lasers at that range. Honestly, I do have to say I am quite impressed by this one. I don't even think I've seen people use this at an airsoft field before. So this might be kind of one of those, if you know airsoft guns.
Lots of random stuff in this one, but I did not pay too much. I believe I paid $69 for that box, and I got a total value of $184.94. That means we walked away with a profit of $115.94.
Okay, definitely some airsoft guns in this box. The first thing we have is a black case. Okay, the boxes look quite beat up. We have a hole in there and a whole bunch of dirt on the bottom. Guessing these probably aren't brand new mystery boxes. Next up we have, I don't even know what this is gonna be until you guys see it first. We got a Specna arms. We could have a whole bunch of different models. You can see on the back there's about 1 billion different models you could have. Again, the box does look pretty beat up. There's a whole bunch of dirt on the front and some holes in there as well. So that's also not a great sign. These are definitely probably open box deals. And then the last but not least, looks like we have 3 different airsoft guns in this package. The box is already coming undone. We have some form of a Matrix one. Does it say anything? Nope, just Matrix tactical systems on there. Kind of a cool little green, yellowish box. Let's go ahead and open this one up first and see what we got. Okay, so the box, the only clue we have is it's open, and apparently the original MSRP was $112. So that's all we're going off of. Let's go ahead and see what we got in here. All right, so this is what we get in the box straight away. We have some red flags straight out of the box. We have some punctures in the styrofoam right there. Some wires hanging out of the AEG itself. The buttstock is totally off, as you could see. And the motor is outside of the airsoft gun, which is not what you want to see. There's the motor spring as well. The bottom of the motor grip and part of the insides of the stock. We do have an open package in here as well that came in here. It's a $7 Dean's connector. So I guess they wired this to Dean's, which is pretty cool. But that does not help for the fact of this having the motor outside the gearbox. Let's go and see if we could fix this thing. That's probably not a good sign. Alrighty, time to start the surgery. We got some tools and a battery. Let's check out what the heck is wrong with this one. Alrighty, so we know it has to do something with the electronics or motor. The best case scenario is we actually just throw in the motor and it just works. There's no damage really to the motor, so I'm not seeing potential issues so far. Let's go ahead and actually get the connectors on the motor itself and see if it actually spins. That would be a big indicator if this thing has any type of life left to give. So we'll put the red on the red and black on the black. Let's go ahead and plug in the battery here. Now we're gonna press the trigger and see if anything happens. Okay. That's a good sign. So the electronics seem to be working. Let's go and just throw the motor back in and see if that fixes our issue. If that's the case, that was a really simple fix. Maybe they just got lazy and didn't want to put it back together. We are missing one of the screws on the motor, so that's not ideal. Oh, don't want to hear that. I got one more theory just to see if the gears are really stripped. I'm gonna hold this into the gearbox and see what happens. Go and try this at home. Oh, yikes. Oh, yeah, something's messed up. That hurt my soul hearing that one. Yikes. Yeah, something's probably stripped in there or something's very wrong. I don't honestly think it's gonna be crazy expensive to fix. Something with the either motor engagement is not correct, or I'm sure just like one of the gears is stripped. Probably not a crazy fix. I'd say at the most about $30. Nothing too bad though. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to leave my toolbox out for these ones. Yeah, this box has seen some better days. All right, let's see. So far nothing crazy. Just looks like the test from Specna Arms. Some stickers, and what do we got going on here? Okay, so the butt plate is off. That's obviously not the greatest sign. Probably something wrong with either the electronics or again, maybe the other thing. I think the, at least the motor grip is closed, so maybe it's just an electronic issue. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna take it easy on all these ones. I don't know exactly what's wrong, so I'm running a 7.4 volt with all of these. Oh, yikes. All of the actual wires are plugged in where they need to be. There's no like cuts or anything wrong with the actual line or wires itself. Yeah, so this looks to be a Gate X ASR. Of course, Gate has some amazing products, but nothing is perfect. So I guess this one, they just had a little bit of issues with the electronics. That's the price on screen for some new electronics. From what it seems like, the rest of the Airsoft gun looks really good. So I'm guessing it's just some type of lemon and they didn't really get to use it too much. Last but not least, in that heaviest box of the video, we got the APS up next. Like I was mentioning, we got some weird, tape right there, a kind of a weird indent and a lot of dirt on this guy. Let's go ahead and open up and just, I don't know, just see if there's anything that's outstandingly bad when we first get it open. Okay, that's not normal. Looks like it was definitely taken out of the box before. This is not brand new. It's on semi as well. That's also not a good sign. Let's see what's wrong with the magazine. Nothing seems to be wrong with that. There is a part that was opened up, so this one has definitely been used a little bit at least. All right, so wow, this thing is actually pretty nice. Got a little nice hand stop right here for the grip. Pretty sweet. The body itself is actually pretty sweet. It's a full metal rail, full metal upper and lower, but honestly, it's really lightweight for the full metal design. I kind of like it actually, pretty sweet. This is the Phantom Extreme, I guess is what it's called. Let's go ahead and get the stock off here and see what kind of battery we're gonna need to be running with this one. It is a Deans, that's always a good sign. Love to see Deans. And it does have a fuse that looks to be a little bit kind of tampered with, maybe not. Hard to say if that's been tampered with. Let's go ahead and just throw in a battery and just see what happens here. Oh, alrighty then. So as you can see, when I plug in the battery, it starts to full auto, which is great. That means the electronics are absolutely toasted on this one, like the previous one. So best case scenario, you just need a little tiny fuse right there. But worst case scenario, you're gonna need an entire new electronic system, which could be anywhere between $20 to $50.
Box number 3 was definitely a boneyard box to say the least. These ones run $200 each, and each Airsoft gun needed a pretty intense electronic repair or gear set. I would definitely only recommend these if you're handy with some tools and you know how to work on Airsoft guns. But for this one, we got a total box value, of course if you do the labor yourself, of $461.99. That means we walked away with a profit of $361.99.
Next box weighs in at 20 pounds. Let's see what we got. Whoa, lots of things in here, it looks like. On top, we have a little Airsoft gun right here and a item slip that says item defective slip. That's not what you want to see. Let's unbox this and see what we got going on here. All right, so what information do we have so far on this little slip? Well, looks like this was tested on July 18th, 2025, so some months ago. Also says gun is DOA, which is defected on arrival, maybe is what I'm guessing. So I'm guessing this won't even work at all. It's a pretty sweet gun though. Check out what we got. It looks like the original price, or maybe the discounted one, is $88. This is called the V61. Check out what we got. Kind of reminds me of like a Scorpion in some older video games. Got the manual. Is this a Tokyo Murray, I believe? Possibly. It does have a battery and charger included, it looks like, and hopefully everything is in here. So there's really not much we could do about this guy. These are pretty cool. They don't shoot a crazy high FPS, but they're pretty nice. Looks like it comes with 2 high cap magazines. Pretty sweet. So here is the battery inside there. The issue is either the battery does not work whatsoever, or the charger, or the Airsoft gun itself is the one that is defective. So we're gonna need, of course, charge this up and see if it actually works. And these ones you can't really fix too easily, so if it is broken, that's gonna be a total loss.
15 minutes later.
I believe I'm charging this correctly, and it is green, so the battery should be good to go.
Here's the moment of truth. Off of safety to semi, will it shoot? I don't think so. I unfortunately don't have an extra one of these type of batteries to test it, but in theory it could be just a battery that is messed up, but we don't know if it's part of the electronic system in here. But as far as the resources I have and what I know, I think this thing is not gonna be able to make it through the video. This one's a complete loss. And next up we have a green box yet again from Matrix. We just got one of these, got some crazy markings on the back. Looks like someone's trying to puncture this, not ideal. Let's see if this guy has any better luck than that Scorpion. So far in the box, nothing really screams out that this thing is broken. Everything looks to be in a normal place. Buttstock is still on. Motor grip is still intact as well. So far, oh, never mind. That piece is completely missing where you would actually like close the bolt on a real AR-15 style airsoft gun. Yikes. So that means it was definitely probably opened up at least once. That's not a good sign. For the body itself, pretty nice. It is a full metal MK18 style rail, one of my favorites. And for the upper and lower, it is, I think, plastic, but it doesn't feel too bad. And oh, if you actually look into the place where the hop-up is supposed to be, it looks like there is absolutely no barrel or hop-up whatsoever that comes to this airsoft gun. That is not a good sign to see. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it at least cycles. And if it doesn't cycle, then yeah, this one's toasted. But of course, it might just because something with the barrel and hop-up was the issue here. So let's go ahead and take this off and see what we could find. Okay, my first idea here is let's go ahead and just plug in a battery and just see what happens. Okay, so the ow. So when I plugged in the battery, the LiPo battery itself got super hot, like really hot to the touch. Like you could barely even touch it. Like, and I mean within like a second. That was really quick. The wiring seems to be a little heated up as well. Yeah, okay, this one is really sketchy. I'm not gonna mess with this one because it might absolutely just blow up a battery. That usually never happens. Yikes. So we'll move on to the next one. That one is a complete loss. Don't like that. That was sketchy. Looks like we have a sniper up next. Anything else in here? I don't think so. Well, that's one way how to unbox it. This is the MB10. Haven't heard of this one before, I don't believe. Here's the lower basically, and here's the upper. Basically for these type of snipers, you put them together. They kind of try to save money with shipping by putting them into two separate pieces. There's a couple screws on the bottom of the lower, I believe right there. Oh, and that just completely just came off. What the heck? Let's actually rack back the bolt and see if this works. That's broken. Looks like the whole bolt system itself does not want to rack back whatsoever. Either something is stuck in there or it's just like something snapped and just not letting the yep, that is stuck. But yeah, there's no luck saving this one. You basically have to replace the whole piston, spring guide, everything system and somehow take out the fixed one. Nothing crazy. I've never really worked on too many snipers, so I can't really help this one out too much, but there's the approximate cost of how much to fix it.
Alrighty, box number 4, we paid $200 yet again for this one. Definitely not as good as luck as we had with the last one. Pretty rough with this one. There's some serious repairs and really complicated stuff that needs to be done with these. I think the easy one is going to be that MK18 with just some new electronics, but the other two are really complex. So those two might be total write-offs, but I am still valuing both of those at about $70 for both. That means we walked away with $215 of box value, but because of what I paid for, only $15 of profit.
Next up, we have two separate boxes. They look to be exactly pretty much the same size here. One of them, it looks to be maybe about 8 or 9 pounds. The next one is going to be 13 pounds. Let's start with the lighter one and see what we got in these two boxes that look to be about the same exact size. Hopefully some non-broken airsoft guns in these ones. Sometimes you do get lucky with those boneyard boxes, but those ones, definitely not the best luck. But what do we got in these? I'm assuming these might be the open box steel airsoft guns or potentially other ones, just no idea. Let's check it out. All right. What? What is this? Okay, this might be like the items open box one because there's a whole bunch of RAM stuff in here. We got some gear. We have a UFC 13-to-1 high-speed gear set, which is pretty cool. That'll come in handy fixing one of our airsoft guns that had a stripped gear set, most likely. Those are pretty nice. What the heck? Did not expect to see this in there. A SEMA looks to be like a MP5 magazine. That's random. And we also have, looks to be a medic pouch for people on the field. You can put this in Somalia, it looks like, and you can basically just put whatever you want here. Kind of a cool little pouch. And what the heck is this? This one's already kind of like broken. Looks to be a handle for like a light machine gun or something. I don't even know what the heck that could be for. That's random. We also have a better tactical experience is all it says up there. From Matrix, it looks like. And it looks to be black multicam. Oh, it's a tactical storage bag, it says on there. Okay, interesting. What else we got in here? Mysterious box. Oh, what the heck? It's a little tiny like double stacked gas blowback magazine for some kind of 1911 style pistol. Super random, does no labeling whatsoever on the box. And we have, last but not least, before we go into the airsoft gun itself, we have a mesh mask from Matrix. Always a handy thing to have these. Protect your teeth. Ooh, okay, so the first thing I see on this box is it says Ranger Green up here in this corner, so it's gonna be a nice little Ranger Green color, I assume. I'm assuming this thing is maybe spring. Oh no, it's an AEG actually, okay, interesting. What do we got in here? It's from Soft Air. Looks like we got a green magazine. Everything looks to be brand new here, which is a good sign. This is a high cap magazine. Very flimsy sounding, not the best start for that. Instruction manual, yeah, probably don't want to give it to your baby. That's a great idea. We also have some very suspicious green BBs like always, and this tiny itsy bitsy, oh my gosh. I actually don't think this was supposed to be like a boneyard box, but look at this. The wiring is completely outside of the actual battery itself. I believe possibly I have a spare battery for one of these so we could still test it out, but yikes, that is not normal. This thing is super lightweight, pretty funny. Would not trust this to drop on the ground a couple different times. But overall, the quality, I mean, this thing is probably super cheap. Here's the price on screen. So I'm not complaining too much. It's probably pretty damn cheap. But the main thing is to see if this thing actually works. Let's go check it out. So I indeed did find a weird little battery that's gonna fit this. So let's see if this thing actually shoots. All right, just above 200 FPS with 0.5 joules. Nothing crazy, but it does shoot pretty consistent at least. Let's check out the full auto. Yikes, that's pretty damn bad. 2.5 rounds a second. This is an M4 after all. 50 feet and 135 should be no issue, but this one is pretty cheap relatively and pretty plasticky. So let's see how this thing does. Solid performance at 50 feet, no issues whatsoever. 135 feet, really pessimistic this is gonna hit, but let's try it out. I'd say realistically, I'm probably gonna be able to hit, and then again, I'm using .20s, not like .28s like most of the other guns in today's video. Maybe about that 75 to 100 feet away, we could hit it. Yeah, no issues at that range. But yeah, that is definitely not the best for a M4. Obviously, I don't see any major issues lingering around while shooting this thing. The hop up, I don't think there is one, so that's a issue in itself, but could be worse. I think the main thing is the battery was absolutely destroyed when we got it in the box. But besides that, I just really was lucky to have a separate one of those. But yeah, if the battery is working, this thing's not too bad. What I recommend for the price though, I think you could spend a tiny bit more and get a way better airsoft gun in my opinion with a full working hop up. But this one is not too bad for a backyard starter gun. This is apparently a tactical storage bag. Let's see what this could possibly be. I don't know if it's a dump pouch or is it like something other than that? Oh no, what the heck? Kind of a dump pouch looking thing. Yeah, it's basically just a dump pouch. I guess you could put this on some Velcro somewhere, but yeah, it just has some very basic just storage. I don't even know, it doesn't have any like shapes or, inserts in there at all. So you could kind of just dump whatever you want in there. Nothing too special. Looks to be some kind of like medical tactical pouch. Let's see what you can actually put in this thing. Got some nice little plastic, well, not really nice, but some plastic straps to put on some molly, I'm guessing. You got a little nice medical badge right there to tell your teammates that you are the medic on the team. It's pretty interesting. It looks like this bag is to actually carry this in here, kind of keep it like rolled up, and then once you take this out, you have a bigger little bag in here with, I'm assuming you can put some supplies in here for being a medic. Again, I have no idea how this works. I've never used a pouch like this, but it seems pretty cool. This is so random. What? Yeah, it is an MP5 magazine from the back at least. Does not want to get out of this plastic holder. Oh my gosh, bro, this is insane. Like the whole backside is like cracked open. It looks absolutely smushed to the ground. That is insane. I've actually never seen this before. That's crazy. What? For box number 5, definitely some decent luck with this one. Besides the MP5 that was absolutely destroyed and definitely ran over by a truck, we still came away with a box value of $194. I only paid $37 for this one, I believe, and that means we walked away with a profit of $157. Up next, this one was the heavier of the two, so should have more stuff in here hopefully, or maybe it's just a heavier airsoft gun. Let's see what we got. Oh, interesting. First up, looks like we see some gear on the top here. Let's check this out. All right, up first, it looks like we have a actual chest rig, which is pretty cool. Got 2 straps to go on your back to hold it on there. A little bit different than a plate carrier. It's supposed to be a little bit more lightweight, but no protection, obviously, or plates in the back. Get some crazy space right here for some Velcro and a pistol mag. Got a whole bunch of M4 or AK magazine pouches at the front, 4 of them to be exact, and 1 on the side and 1 on this side as well. Pretty cool. In the package, it does look like we have an airsoft gun down here, but what else we got on the top? Oh my gosh, this thing got teared open. What happened here? Also some Pit Viper 2000 sunglasses, pretty interesting. Again, a Matrix mesh mask, can never have too many of those, very handy dandy. Another one of these same exact tactical storage pouches. Last but not least, before we get on to the airsoft gun, and by the way, I have no idea what the heck brand that is. We have the same exact medical kind of pouch, if you will, just has a different color for the medical insignia, and of course, a multicam black theme, which is really cool. What is this guy? Big Bang air guns? What? I don't even know what the heck this is. Let's check it out. A little scared to see what's in the Big Bang airsoft guns here. Let's see. Got a instruction manual, nothing crazy there. And here it is. All right. What? Is this even an airsoft gun? I really don't think this is an airsoft gun. What is this loading system? I've never seen that in my life. It does say air guns too, so I don't think this thing is an actual airsoft gun. What? Well, the bright side is it's completely broken, so either way we can't even use it, but yeah, I'm not even gonna use this for a video either because it is a air gun, not an airsoft gun, so sounds weird too. Safe to say this thing is definitely broken, but yeah, I don't even know the first thing about air guns, so I'm gonna go ahead and not mess with this one too much, but that's funny we got an actual air gun instead of an airsoft gun. What is going on with this guy? So it is a T1 red dot replica, it looks like. Definitely not a real one. It is from Matrix. These are retail for I think about like $50, $60. Not too bad. Does this thing actually fire on? It's no way. Oh my gosh, it works. What? Did not expect this thing to actually fire on with that crazy packaging. That is insane that it has a battery and that it actually fires on. Well, this thing actually fully works then. I don't see any real big issues with this one, but that's pretty funny. It looks to be working and functioning, just totally beat up and super used, but it does work. Didn't expect that. And we do have some Pit Viper 2000s. I have definitely heard of these glasses before, but this could be obviously not what is in this box because it feels super heavy. So I'm curious to see what is even in here. Yeah, that is not sunglasses. That is a random gas blowback magazine. It looks to be from Terran Tactical if you look at the bottom logo at the end plate right there. Definitely don't want to be hearing that sound while shaking a gas blowback magazine. That's definitely broken, but only one way to really find out, right? Oh, what? Yeah. Yep, that's definitely not working. Holds no gas whatsoever. Something with the bottom is completely broken. So I guess we got a broken, potentially really cool gas blowback magazine.
Number 6, yet again, lots of random stuff in this one, but again, some great value. I'm going to value the air gun about $30. It is originally $149, but it was really broken. So we'll just give it $30 for some scrap metal, I suppose. But everything else was pretty decent. We only paid $37 for that box, and the total value is $194. That means we have a profit of exactly the same one as the last one of $157.
Finally, a mystery box that I actually know for sure which one this is. This is the Box of Awesomeness, and this is the Flash Edition. I believe there's only 98 of these ever made, and they sell out within like minutes. These are absolutely crazy. This website that sells these randomly lists them, and I was randomly on the website when this actually came out, so I got super lucky and actually snatched one up. These are about $300. Here's the actual price on screen that I got it for. I believe this was during some kind of holiday sale many months ago, and I was waiting for the perfect video to actually get this in. This one's all about just how much value you get per airsoft gun, and of course if you get a good one. Let's go and open up and see what we got. And I'm excited for the next one too, because that one's even crazier than this one. This one comes in at 19 pounds, pretty heavy for the size of the box itself. Not sure if we can get multiple airsoft guns in these or just one. Excited to see what we potentially are gonna get. We just have a whole bunch of cardboard on the top. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Way more stuff than just airsoft guns. I was not expecting that. So we got some full tactical clothing right here. So we do have an airsoft gun down here from FN Hersel, which is awesome. And we have a whole bunch of gear on the top. Let's go ahead and open all the gear up and just see what we got. And then, oh wait, never mind. We got another airsoft gun in here. Looks by WeTech, super sweet. We also have a power charger thing. That's kind of interesting. And a patch. Looks like from Squid Games, I believe that's from. So the first thing we got, it looks to be some, I don't even know, maybe a tactical shirt or some pants possibly. Let's see what we got. Looks to be some tactical pants right here, some crazy camo. These are huge. I bet these will actually maybe even fit me. Pretty interesting, and it looks like the original retail on these, or maybe the discounted one, I'm not really sure, is $12.50, so not exactly the most expensive pair of pants. I didn't even know they made tactical pairs of pants that cheap. That's pretty funny. Next exciting thing up, we have it looks to be a vest in here. Pretty sweet. I would assume just by where this box is from, this is a Matrix vest. Let's see. Yep, it is a Matrix low profile play card ready vest carrier, and the MSRP is $35, which is actually, again, pretty cheap for a vest. Again, the quality isn't probably gonna be insane with that price point, but not too bad for 35 bucks. We have a little zipper right here to put maybe your keys or wherever you want inside your vest while you're playing. A whole bunch of Velcro space for some patches, and of course, a whole bunch of different MOLLE space for different types of pouches. This looks to be definitely a smaller size. I don't know if this one would fit me, but pretty decent looks, not too bad. We also have a mysterious thing in this little baggie. Let's open this up and see what we got in here. Not sure what the heck that's for, but either this is like those like tactical toilet paper things. I think that's what this actually is. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got one of these before, and that's what I remember distinctly because it's such a weird thing. It's from Phantom Gear, and basically you put a roll of toilet paper here and you get the top of it, and you know, roll it out the top right there so you can use it, I guess, for a camping tool. I'm not really sure. Or obviously on the field if you really gotta go. Probably shouldn't do that on an airsoft field though. Pretty funny little device right there. I think these are only like 10 or 15 bucks. And we have a blue EV pack power bank, which is very random. You can plug this into tablets, iPhones, MP3 players, which I don't even know if anyone has those anymore, or I think a camera. Let's see what this thing looks like at least. In theory, this thing should work. Actually pretty random it includes that, but I guess it's pretty cool. Let's now go to the pistol in the box. Looks like we have a WeTech pistol. Let's see which one we got right here. Interesting, interesting. I think this is a WeTech Galaxy, I think they call these. Could be butchering the name. Here's the actual name on screen if I messed up. But yeah, I believe this is what that is. This thing is a very aggressive design. It's kind of full metal design for the rail, full metal design for the upper and lower. Very satisfying to put in the magazine. The plastic grips do not feel good. I wish those were rubber or maybe a different material. Those feel a little awkward. Definitely not the most comfortable grip, but it does look very aggressive. It does kind of complement the super modern and tactical look of this thing, so pretty cool. Of course, I'm very positive this should work, hopefully, because that would be a very bad thing for a brand new gun not to work, but you never know, so let's go test it out. 316, 314, and 314. Pretty consistent, just below 1 joule as well. These are very popular pistol designs. Let's see how this does. Interesting. Definitely shooting way to the left of where the iron sights are. But if you correct and aim just to the right of the target, it does hit pretty much the middle, no issues. I wish the iron sights were a little bit more accurate, but nothing too bad to complain. That's kind of normal, unfortunately, with a lot of gas-like pistols. I'd say about like half are a little off with the iron sights and the half are super accurate. Kind of just weird in this price bracket. All right, let's check out the possible range of this bad boy. Oh, not crazy. These are shooting super to the left, and there's basically no wind today, so it's kind of weird, not ideal. I'm literally having to aim like all the way on top of those blue barrels next to them, like all the way up just to hit maybe on the target. Maybe just need to break in the hop up, but so far, yeah, definitely not really hopping the BBs whatsoever. Turned up about 75%. I don't know, not ideal. Last but certainly not least, we have a little tiny blue F in Hurstel, and weirdly it has Crytek labeling and EMG on the back, which is not what I expected. Very curious to see what this is gonna be. It's a very medium box, so I'm guessing a tiny little AR or maybe potentially a submachine gun. Straight away, ooh, you guys know what that is. Check, whoa, this is not what I expected. P90, that's pretty interesting. Is this a Crytek P90? Did we just get super lucky? I think this thing is really expensive. There's the actual retail on it right there. That is a good deal if we got this thing. This might be like one of their like more like fancy wins for these boxes. That is super lucky. Check this thing out, super nice. Wow, we actually, I think got pretty lucky with this box. There's 98 of these available, and I'm guessing from their website, if you look at it, this is like one of their nicer prizes you can win. They kind of list off the like grand prizes, if you will. I'm not sure if this is the grand prize. I think there's 2 levels above this, but I'm not complaining at all. This is a very nice airsoft gun for what I paid, I believe. Gotta love a good P90. 408, 408.3, and 409. Wow. Very consistent, just above that 400 FPS mark with 1.55 joules. Let's check out the RPS with this specific battery. Looks like we're getting about 17 rounds a second. Pretty solid. This one should have absolutely 0 issues at this range. And well, both of them, to be frank. Let's see exactly how it does, though. No issues on semi or full auto at 50 feet. That is easy money. Solid performance at this range. Let's actually scoot back to around 200 feet away and see if we could really do. I think we are well further than 200 feet away. Let's see how this does. Gonna shoot on my car here. Very solid performance at about 200 feet away. Let's try the full auto. And that's not even with the hop up turned all the way up. We're only about 6 or 7 out of 10 too, so we could hop way heavier BBs. I'm only using 0.28 for this one. Let's send it with full auto and see what we could really do. And the gun got jammed. That's kind of weird. Hold up, all these good things I'm gonna say about this maybe are not true. What? Imagine it just broke. There's no way, right? Just gotta re-plug that in. Let's see. What? Why does it not work? Oh, you know what? Maybe this one actually doesn't shoot when the mag is out of BBs. Oh, that's kind of cool. I actually didn't know that. Fun fact, if the mag is out of BBs, it does not want to work, which is actually really cool. Kind of a realistic design. It has a pretty high price tag on something. That's the only thing I could really hate about it, but it is worth the money. Definitely shoots very good for the price. Shoots just as good as any other AEG at this price, even for a bigger M4. Still competes with those, and honestly, can't complain about this one. Very solid performance. Easily able to get over 200 feet away with this guy in such a compact package. Very impressive.
For the 7th box, we got a whole bunch of gear, random accessories, and of course 2 awesome airsoft guns, especially a lot of that value coming from the Crytek P90. I paid $289 for this box, and the total box worth was $667.04. Incredible value. And that means we walked away with a profit of $378.
Last but not least, this one should be very interesting. It had an original retail price of, I believe, $400. And when I bought them, it was discounted to about $285, about $300. Pretty sweet. This one is extremely limited. It has only 10 available ever, so pretty insane that we got one of these. This one is known as the Double Trouble mystery box, and I believe that means it guarantees 2 separate airsoft guns in here. And the total retail value of everything in here is $400 guaranteed, which is a pretty good profitability if you ask me. Spend $285, get $400. I'm not complaining. This one in theory should be one of the best ones of the day, if not the best one. That last one's hard to beat, but let's check it out and see what we got. Let's see what we got in the box. So first up, oh yeah, we do indeed have 2 airsoft guns. Super exciting. Got some air savers on the top, so very loud there. I don't even know what the heck could be in this thing. Very plain looking cardboard box. And next up we have something from Echo One as well. So let's go ahead and start with the other one and check out what this is next. Very fascinating what's gonna be in this. I actually have no idea. This is such a weird shape and size for an airsoft gun. So I'm guessing it's like a long pistol. I have no idea. Let's just go ahead and check it out. Yo, is this what I think it is? Is this an FMG9? No way. This is like one of my favorite airsoft guns and like guns in general like ever made. Okay, in the box, it looks like this thing is trying to come undone. If you guys know what these are, you guys know why it's doing that. But we have some safety instructions right here. We also have a speeder and a tool in here as well. A random little cardboard box. I'm guessing that's the magazine in there. This is exciting. I did not expect to get this. That's like one of the last things I expected, to be honest. It's held in by some kind of a zip ties, so not the craziest packaging I've ever seen, but I'm not complaining. I love this gun. Hopefully it works well. I believe it has an actual pistol in there. Sometimes this might just be the kit, hopefully not, but it is guaranteeing 2 airsoft guns in this mystery box, so it should be the actual gun. Really curious to see. All right, let's take this guy out. Pretty sweet. That didn't really work too well because it's already like almost compact, but yeah, this is everything you need. This is sick. This is gonna be the magazine as well. Yep, very simple right there. Actually really lightweight for a gas-like magazine as well. Put the gas in at the top. It's a little bit of a newer design, it looks like. Feels really lightweight, kind of interesting. Not necessarily a bad way, just kind of unique, but it is an extended mag, so I'm guessing it holds about 50 shots. This thing should be pretty sick. I'm really curious to see if this thing shoots well, and hopefully it has a auto and semi-automatic, but without further ado, let's go ahead and load this one up and see how it shoots. Looks like about that 310 to 330 FPS range. Got a little bit more consistent at the end there. Maybe 320 is a good average, just below 1 joule. Pretty solid. Kind of just what you want for a gas, like pistol type of airsoft gun. 50 feet shouldn't be an issue. Let's check it out. Easy money. Surprisingly accurate to where the iron sights are going as well. Let's check out a little bit further distance now. Whoa! Hop-up's crazy. It shoots like a couple good ones, and it has one that just doesn't feed. That's kind of weird. Like, doesn't feed there. Feeds, doesn't feed, feeds, doesn't feed. Let's do this one more time. We'll see if we can get it to fix itself by giving it a little shakedown, if you will. No, it's so shooting every other BB. It's kind of weird. You guys can see the hop-up is really good outside the box, a little too good. I can't really adjust a hop-up, unfortunately, without taking the whole thing apart, I believe. So that is obviously my fault. So the range, it does look really good. The accuracy isn't too bad at that range either. But the main thing is the inconsistency every other shot. Pretty sure this thing is all ready to go. There's nothing I'm missing here, but I don't know why it just doesn't load every other shot. It might be the magazine issue or something with the airsoft gun itself. But yeah, not the most consistent I've ever seen. And the last one of the video, we got a Echo 1 box. Let's check out what we got in here. Oh, I think I know what this is. Wait. These things are sick. Check this out. It's like an actual minigun. Okay, this Airsoft website really had some banger Airsoft guns in this box. We literally have an FMG9 and an actual minigun to use with this company. That is insane from Echo 1. I think this is called the PMG9. Could be wrong. There's the actual name on screen. But this is an insane Airsoft gun. I can definitely not chrono this. This thing is too insane for a choreograph. It would actually blow it up. But we can shoot it on the Airsoft Guild. Here's the actual stats for it as far as the RPS and FPS goes. But the chronograph, yeah, is gonna die if we try to shoot it with this thing. So let's go ahead and just go to the field and see what it can really do. Gotta love it. Probably banned at most fields, but this is what it's all about. This is very nice. That's nice. Easy money, of course, at that 50 feet range. This thing's really cool. You put the BBs in at the bottom right here into this huge compartment, and the battery just sits in this little compartment at the bottom. Super easy to actually get this thing all set up. Honestly, really seamlessly good minigun. We're gonna go ahead and turn up all the hop-ups to, I'd say about 7 out of 10. Let's see how they could hop some 2.8s on these. Pretty sweet. You have individual hop-ups on each single barrel, so you can kind of set it to different ones if you really wanted to, but we're gonna set them all up to about 8 out of 9, or sorry, 7 out of 9, and see how that does. Pretty optimistic about this one hitting this range. It is a minigun after all, so it's not necessarily for accuracy or range, more about enemy suppression, but I'm pretty confident this could hit at least this range. We'll see how it does though, you never know. Here goes nothing. Interesting. It does hit that far, no issues. Actually, the hop-up system is pretty dang good. You can see the BB's like flying upward. They're getting way past the target, all the way to the blue barrels, way past that as well. Honestly, pretty surprising performance in the hop-ups for this guy. Is it the most accurate thing? Definitely not, but is it able to hit there? Definitely, because you have so much ammo to go through. You can basically just like hold this down until you hit someone eventually. Imagine the tear you'd be on a CQB field like this. This would be insane. Yeah, you would be an unstoppable force at a CQB field.
Last but certainly not least, a very limited production run with this one, only 10 boxes ever made. I paid $285 for that box, and the total retail value in there was $558.99. That means we walked away with a profit of $274. So take that with a grain of salt. It's really hard to actually profit from Airsoft mystery boxes. It's all about luck, and this one was my lucky day to say the least. The boneyard boxes I would definitely recommend if you're a technician or you want to flip airsoft guns and you have lots of spare parts. The open box deals are pretty cool, but they are a big risk. And of course, the limited drop ones are the safest and probably the easiest to profit. But of course, you don't know what you're going to get. That's the whole purpose of mystery boxes. But in the video, including the hidden costs of like taxes and fees and stuff like that, I paid a total of $1,576.23 for all of the mystery boxes in today's video. And we got a total value of over $3,000. That means we had a total real profit of $1,458.63. Honestly, really good. Probably my best one so far for the mystery box videos.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you enjoyed, here is a personally recommended video just for you that YouTube thinks you would enjoy after watching this video. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video.